What's going on, guys? It's the Outlaw. Jimmy Jams all back in the house. Okay, today we're talking about more news coming out on the King Von shooting, some clarity on what really happened. But first, if you're brand new to this channel right here, make sure you Kung Fu Chop that subscribe button. Give this video a like, ring that bell for notifications, and feel free, of course, to share my ugly face on any social media platform that you choose. Okay, King Von's manager was also shot along with King Von. And today he came out and spoke out with DJ Academic just to clear up some of the rumors that have been said about King Von. That, a lot of them rumors were that he got shot and his friends ran off and left him. There were some rumors that the police may have shot King Von. So he cleared up a lot of that stuff. And a lot of Asian Doll had posted on her Instagram that King Von's last words, like, y'all let these dudes run up on me and get me. Now, the manager has came out, tracked, and said that a lot of this is not true. He said he's even spoke with Asian Doll about the man's last words. The manager said pretty much his last words were, "Tell Little Turk I love him and my fans." Okay, because he was alive when he was in the SUV. We come to find out, and he was shot more than once. I had reported that it looked like he appeared to be shot in the chest one time, but his manager said when it was a split-second reaction that King Von wasn't himself that night. That usually he's real alert about his location, where he's going to go, who's there, what's around. And he says something was just off. And we hear this a lot in these shootings. This night wasn't like any other night. It was just a little bit different. They were at a club, and they were supposed to go back to the hotel that they were staying at. But King Von decided with his driver he wanted to go to a club. They get up there, and they're by themselves, okay? So I guess they call back to their entourage, and the entourage meets them up. But the manager usually says when they leave, everybody usually goes to the same place, but this night it didn't happen. So they were running a little behind. And when he gets there, King Von is outside of the club, and he's in a bulletproof SUV. He's sitting in there chilling, and he had been in there for like a half hour, and all his buddies were sitting outside in the cold waiting on him. So his manager gets up in there and says, "Yo, man, what's going on?" Everybody's waiting. And he's like, but they're smoking at the same time, so he's kind of chilling. And apparently, one of King Von's associate comes up to King Von and says, "Hey, I seen so and so," which I believe they are referring to as Quando Rondo, asleep in a vehicle with his driver. Apparently, he was in the vehicle asleep. When King Von hears this, he's all of a sudden in go mode because apparently they had some beef, and King Von had said when he seen Quando Rondo, it was a go at any point. You know what I'm saying? So they say this happened so quick that the reason that none of them had guns was they were getting ready to go into the club. So all security, which the manager's saying that there was actual security with him, 3 security members, and the rest of it was his entourage that were armed. Okay, but they had just put their guns up in their cars, and they were waiting on King Von to walk up in the club, so they were unarmed. But when the person came up and said that they had seen Quando Rondo, right? One person in the car said, "Hold on, let me go get, some protection." So he gets out the vehicle and runs to his vehicle to get his gun, okay? But time he jumps out, they say King Von had jumped out. And as soon as he jumps out the vehicle, his manager says literally he bumps right into Quando Rondo, and instantly it's fighting. He says in a matter of 1.5 seconds from the time he got out that vehicle, it was on, and King Von was working Quando Rondo. He was beating him up. He says about that time from behind, what you don't see in the SUV is the gunman, right? which is being arrested, charged with the murder of King Von. He fires 4 or 5 shots. The manager says he believes at least 3 of them hit King Von, and he was struck in the crossfire that this dude was directly aiming for King Von. Now, it's unclear who shot the person that shot King Von because he was also struck. But it is believed, what he says is, what we see in the video is when King Von falls on top of Quando Rondo, he says it's a little bit different. He says that King Von was using him as a shield. That's how strong King Von was, that he was still latched onto him, trying to stop himself from getting shot, using Quando Rondo as a shield. But he also says, DJ Academic asked him, he says, because a lot of people believe that Quando Rondo, after he was shot, tried to aid in helping King Von. Okay? So, it appeared that way when I watched the video too. It looked like he didn't realize that it was going to escalate to that so fast. And according to King Von's manager, he didn't know it was going to escalate that fast. He knew it had the capabilities to escalate, that these things happen and you need to be protected just in case something happens. But he thought it was going to be just, at the time, because it was happening so quick, it was just a one-on-one fight, that there was no reason to shoot King Von because he wasn't armed. He was just fighting the guy one-on-one. And, he was the one that actually fell. When we were watching the video, one person falls too and he's sliding back. And then a lot of people were rumoring that they were trying to take the chains and that his people ran. The manager clears this up. He says that the only shots that were fired were from the assailant. And that was the 4 or 5 shots in the very beginning. And nobody else fired no shots but undercover police and police officers. And he said this was more execution style shooting, not warning, not trying to shoot to hit you, but shoot to kill. And 2 other people were killed alongside that. He believes these 2 people were killed by police officers. He believes that he would have had a gun that day in his hand, that he would be dead, that the police were shooting anybody with a gun. Okay? So, it still goes into, they asked him, do you believe that Quando Rondo was trying to help him? He said he's not too sure if he was trying to help him. He said, but Quando Rondo was screaming, he's been shot, and he was holding on to him. So, I don't know if, Quando Rondo himself didn't shoot him and he didn't know he was going to be shot, because this is just one of those, they just happened to be there. There was no plan, there was no setup, there was no following him to the club like a lot of these internet rumors. It was just, wrong place, wrong time. Both crews were there. They had this beef. A lot of people believed it was over, this girl, Asian doll. And the manager said it had nothing to do with that. He said King Von had mad love for him, respect for her. She was his friend, but that's about it. He had to have moved on in life, and that these quotes that she's saying, these last words, she's saying that she is talking to a spiritual guru that can talk to the dead. And from the dead, King Von is telling her that these dudes left him and let them guys run up on him. Okay? So the manager wanted to clear that up. That Asian Doll's messages are from the spirit world, not the real world. Okay? And they asked him, did they think, with his injuries, would he have survived at the hospital? He says that he wasn't in the vehicle with King Von after he got shot. That other people took King Von to the hospital, and while King Von was in the car, he was really calm. He told the driver not to panic, that he was going to be okay. And, according to the manager, he believes he died in surgery. Okay, so he didn't make it to the hospital alive. He was conscious the whole time of this event. He never lost consciousness. He made it to the hospital. Really sad news, losing King Von like that. Now, we go into, is Quando Rondo responsible for this? I don't honestly think so, but you guys in the comment box below, y'all can tell me what you think. Quando Rondo didn't know he was going to be there. They just happen to bump into each other. Fight breaks out, and one of his friends shoots him. Quando Rondo didn't have time from the time the fight started to be like, yo, shoot him or go get a gun. It was just the reaction of his homie when he seen his friend being jumped on. He just shot. But it seemed to me like he had a target. Like he wasn't trying to shoot everybody. He was just trying to shoot King Von because, the attack looked like King Von was beating up Quando Rondo. Now, we know just because somebody's kicking your butt don't mean you can shoot and kill him. This guy did get shot. They believe that he wasn't shot by any of King Von's people, but he was shot by undercover police officers. Okay, as they were running, police started shooting into the group. Didn't care who they hit, is what he was saying. That he's lucky to be alive, and that the shots were fired from so close. They were like almost lined up. He said King Von was here, I was here, and the shooter came around right here and started popping the shots. So we thought he was shot one time, but come to find out he was shot multiple times in the chest at really, really close range and didn't make it through surgery. Sad, but it's a good thing that people are clearing this up. And a lot of people are rumouring the dudes from the O Block ain't nothing. They left him there to die. They say that's not the case, that it just happened so fast. What you're seeing is they had no plan of that happening. So that little quick clip you see is how fast they actually had to react. It happened that fast, right? And he said that people were running up trying to help, but the police were shooting into the crowds. So you see them backing up. That's not fire from the ops. That's fire from the police, and they don't know where it's coming from. Okay, so they were backing up and moving forward and trying to help, but at the same time, nobody wants to get shot, right? Nobody's bulletproof. So they were running, ducking for cover, running back out, trying to help. I mean, it makes sense. So, he was just trying to clear it up that these people loved King Von, and King Von loved his people from O Block. He was about to look out for them. He was getting people houses and cars and things like that. And he was one of them dudes that gave back to his homie. He said, so all these people up here, the manager, that are dragging King Von and his friends, that King Von would have died for these people that you are talking bad about, and they would have died for King Von. Under the circumstances, there was nothing really anybody could do. It was just a tragic situation that happened so fast that nobody really knew how to react quick enough to save his life, okay? He did have security. He was in a bulletproof vehicle. He made a big mistake, and the manager even said it's not like King Von to think like that. He's usually real rational, but he's one of those dudes that believes in loyalty, respect, and honor, and he believed that had been violated. So to him, he didn't want to kill Rondo. He just wanted to put them hands on him and put in a little bit of work. But tragically, that event cost the man his life. Sad. The manager, had to speak to the family and let them know what's going on. The manager also is the manager of Y&W Melly, which Melly has done killed two of his friends, and this guy believes that Melly might come home, which I highly disagree with. There's a lot of evidence that's starting to leak out in the Y&W Melly case that's probably going to put Melly away forever, if not get him executed, right? So crazy things going on in the hip-hop rap world. You guys let me know what you think about all these shootings and killings and fights in the comment box down below, of course, right? I am your boy, Outlaw Jimmy Jams. Look, guys, there's a lot of ways to support the channel. You can just simply give it a like or share. If you like to donate to the channel to help us grow, we have Cash App, # Jams TV, Venmo, Jams TV. And for all our international people that can't use Cash App, our PayPal link is usually in the description box down below. Check out the merch store. Of course, Christmas is coming. Jams TV t-shirts, hoodies, make great gifts. We even got some Corona masks to keep the Rona out, right? So we even got those. So make sure you go to the jimmyjamshow.com, click on shop. It'll click on any t-shirt and it'll take you to our whole merch line. That's a great way to support the channel. And guys, I will see you in the next video. Peace.